Oh yeah, we are riding low today. We got Hiram Lopez, HTL Detailing, Jody Cedric with RoadFS, and
Rod Pusey with RoadFS. Today we are really excited to have Hiram Lopez on our show. It's not just because we like Hiram, because I've heard about him from to your trainings, to some of your time with Big D, but you work on some of the most awesome cars. At the end of the show, everybody hang with us. We are going to do the giveaway of the Muffin Shine pads. We got a great big box of goodies over here. We're giving it all away. So let's jump right into it with Hiram. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. What up?
What up, man? You are in beautiful San Diego, the land of my dreams. Working on cars both Rod and I dream of. So let's talk about you.
So my name is Hiram Lopez. I detail off of San Diego, California. My business name is HTL Detailing, and I've been detailing for 14 years. I got 7 kids.
Woo! You got 7 kids? You got me beat. I got 6.
Yeah, I got 7. So Isabel, Junior, Eric, Emily, Mia, Aaliyah, and Anthony. So
wow. Yeah. Well, I only got 3, but I got an Emily. So there you go.
Yeah. So I started off. It was funny. I'm actually a loop tech technician, and I would take every Friday off to go get my car detailed in Mexico in TJ, and so I started working more, so I couldn't. So one of my guys next door, they painted cars, and he told me that he would detail my car for the same price. So I let him every Friday, and then we changed it to Wednesdays because there's a car show on 3rd Avenue back then every week in spring and summer. So he started doing it, but then he broke his hand, so he couldn't. So I started cleaning my car, and I was like, well, why not save a couple bucks? And I just started doing my own, and then I started with other people's cars, and that's basically how it started.
Yeah. So now one of the things I think people want to know, I mean, you see it all over the forums, people ask questions all the time, is how do you market your business?
Most of my business comes from word of mouth, from people that really trust me. Most of the guys are business owners, so if they say something, other people follow. I started off with Danny from Los Titos. He introduced me to STR. So now I detail off of here. He does full builds restoration. They introduced me to Weddle, the car that I'm always doing, Final Judgment, that PNS is fully sponsoring. So, all the legend coatings, the view coatings for the windows, the leather, everything. They sponsor the whole vehicle. We're going to do a video coming up soon. And Final Judgment's already won first place Best of Show in Arizona. This year he got 2nd, but we already qualified for the Vegas show to compete for Lowrider of the Year. So hopefully, with the next things that we do and the ceramic coating, it will make a big difference. And even qualifying and competing with the best of the best in the world is a big accomplishment. So.
Oh yeah, and then I noticed the other day on your live video, you're doing something that's like half finished. You're like doing like a 53 or 54. You're doing
that. It was actually the one that the engine. It was a 38 a bomba. So my guy, they're kind of. It's not going to be a lowrider. It's going to be like a hot rod.
Yeah.
It's a blood orange paint job. It came out crazy. So I did do a legend coating on the engine bay, on the frame, on the firewall, and we're gonna coat the whole rest of the car in the bottom of the frame once he puts it together in a couple weeks. So
okay, so then this was it last year that you went through Rennie's training at Detailing Success?
Yes. But I did the 5-day. I did the 1-day ceramic coating 2 years ago for the inspiration.
Yeah.
And ever since ever since then, I've been chatting it up with Rennie, and I've already used his products before. So when I went through his training, the one day of the inspiration, I just changed my whole line. So I tell people I've used all the products out there in the last 14 years, and if you know your product, what it can do and what it can do, instead of changing it up and stuff, well, that's what I like, and PNS has been good to me. They, by sponsoring also the event, but just with Keith, Kyle, Rennie, Chris, I've chat with Chris all the time too, and yeah, back then, if the industry would have been what it is now, I would be at a different place in my life. But back then when I started, I would ask questions to the older guys that were in the business for 20 years, 25 years, and they would kind of put you to the side, like, oh, they wouldn't wanna give you hints or how they do things, and I always thought that, oh, okay, maybe that's how it is. Everybody against each other, and even in car clubs, it used to be that way. But the last 10, 15, even years on the car clubs, everybody's together. I just passed by with my guy, Luis from Memoirs Audio Sound, at the park, and there was amigos, there's viejitos, there's bombas, there's a gang of guys all together, and he's all like, this is what it is now. It's a culture, it's a family. No matter what club you're from, everybody respects each other. And there's still a couple of clubs that they want to be excluded, but that for the most part, just like detailing and car clubs, everybody helps each other out. And I even help out two of my guys in the same city, in Chilo Vista at detail, and it's not about competition. There's plenty of cars on the road. Everybody has their own niche, their own customers, and their own quality of work. So
yeah. So it's changed to Somos Carnales, right? It's like,
yeah.
It's like you got to ride together. You got to help each other out. Those little bits, they really do help you, create a culture around cars, but a culture around helping each other get the most out of what you guys are doing. Because as we were talking about before the show, low riding is an art. I mean, it is next level detailing.
Yeah, because most people, like we were saying before, most people are not going to have a mural on the underneath side of their car that they ceramic coat, or like an etched bolt to hold the shock absorber on. And I think that's the thing is, I like all different kinds of cars, the entire spectrum. I can go look at little tiny European cars that are fixed up to be absolutely bone stock and see the detail in that. But the level of detail that the lowrider culture has for every single part of the car. And what you were saying is absolutely true. Just to give you guys out there watching, like I totally Facebook messaged Hiram out of the blue and said, hey, what do you use to do your white walls? What's your secret sauce? He shared his secret sauce with me, because that's just what you do, right? You help a brother out. And so that is, that's kind of where, like when I've been around the culture and everything, and I was at SEMA several years ago, and there was a guy there that's his car was actually in the House of Colors booth. That's how nice of a car it was. And it was lace on the roof, and it was like a mid 70, 71, 72 Impala, something like that. And and so I went up and asked him, about the different paint techniques and things like that. Totally shared it. Absolutely. This is what I do. This is how I lay it on. This is when I take it off. Just totally sharing what they did. Not as, because instead of trying to hold that all back and be like, I'm exclusive. It's like, no, you want somebody else to carry that on,
Yes. It's funny because I believe in this industry, a lot of people are willing to help each other, not like other industries and different types of jobs or work or careers. But also, I have one of my guys that we did the 5-day with Rennie. There's 3 Anthony's and me. So Anthony Aguilar, Revive Auto Solutions in El Paso. Me and him. He's the one who he booked his own hotel, drove from El Paso for Arizona. you know, brought a product, and you know, he what up what up Anthony's right there. You know, and we've been chatting, you know, when I went on my 24-day cruise around the United States to detail in all 50 states. You know, I stayed at his house. We detailed his work truck. We ceramic coated it with the PNS Inspiration. And it was just a couple months that we knew each other, but we talk on a daily basis. You know, we share tips, you know, and you know, even though we haven't known each other for years, just the 6 months and the 5 days of the training, you know, we formed a bond. And he's gonna be one of the detailers that I'm gonna bring down to help me out with final judgment. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. You know, Tony from Playboy Detailing, also Anthony Marquez. You know, with the training, just you know, a lot of guys. You know, that I still talk to and I help out, and Viking car wash too in San Bernardino. You know, the 1 day class that I helped teach with Rennie. You know, all the guys messaged me. Rennie took half the class, and I did half the class, and I did the whole class in Spanish. You know,
no, that's great.
Yeah. After that, I was thinking, wow, you know, there's so many detailers that are not fluent in English. You know, and you know, they called me up. You know, all of them added me, and they told me, hey, thank you for helping me out. You know, it's one thing to see a technique, but also while it's being explained, you know, and they were able to get the full experience, their money's worth, and yeah. So hopefully, you know, we'll work something out with Reddy, and we can teach back in Spanish. You know that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, that's awesome.
So that's one of the great things about what's going to go on at the Southern Detailers Conference. We're really excited because we actually get to meet you in person there, but you'll get to see hands-on. I mean, people can actually do hands-on, you know, with products and everything there, and that's one of the things that's really nice about Rennie's training in particular. And I can't speak of anybody else's or any other training, so I've never been to anything else besides, you know, I've been in Florida at Justin Lobato's, and been to, you know, obviously been, you know, talked with Big D a lot, and been with Big D. A lot of the guys that are in the network, but
Detail Envy
in Utah for sure. Yeah, so Brigham Salazar down there, and just different people that we get to be with. And that's the nice thing about those trainings is you are working with someone that is like yourself, that has gone through some professional training, that's been in the business for like 14 years. And I don't think people realize how much value that adds when you're doing something. Even in, you know, the IDA events that are going to go on at the Southern Detailers Conference, if you're not certified, the opportunity to go down there and have some of these people that have been doing this for their whole life to help you get to that level is insane. And then you can just take it to whatever level you want to. I mean, you know, obviously everybody can't be, you know, a Hiram Lopez, but you know, they can take it to their own level.
I still have a lot to learn and go, but yes, the last, I would say 2-3 years, I've learned so much from, you know, from GSM, like microfiber to plush towels to technique to products. It's just, you know, a lot. And, you know, I've been working on this event because I used to run an MMA company with the owner, and I want to do an event where it's detail wars. You know, you know, there's a $500 cash prize. I already have all my sponsors booked. I just got to find a location, you know, maybe in a couple more months when all this is almost over, you know, the COVID. And yeah, anybody could compete, you know, also have, you know, teaching from proper washes to detailing. Any detailers could come and enter, you know, and just having a family event where a lot of my customers that I talked to, you know, I ended up giving them, you know, rags and how to wipe down and take care of the car, because a lot of people, my customers, it's funny because they don't have money, but they see my work and they pay it, and you know, and I help them out. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, I know you can't afford me to maintain it, you know, because I'm always busy or out of town, but this is the proper way that you can maintain it on your own. One of my friends, Michelle, wow, like she bought the Honda Accord, she got a full detail, and she washes it herself. every week, she has the bead maker, the plush towels, and wow, like, and those are the customers that I have. They really take care of their vehicles after I detail them, and a couple months later, we they get a little money saved up, and we do a little refresh. But
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is that the key there is you're trying to help them maintain their vehicle. I mean, there's so many people that I think in businesses all across the gamut, not just detailing, that kind of think of it as a one and done. And those customers that come back, repeat customers, that's your bread and butter, because they're also the ones that are giving your name out. They're like, hey, you want to take care of your car, go talk to Hiram. And so that's the thing, is people have to you have to nurture those relationships. Any business is a relationship, and people got to be good at relationships. And I think that's where, if one piece of advice I could give the detailing industry, it's be relationship driven, with your customers, with everybody, because just because that person doesn't use you today doesn't mean that 6 months from now they're not going to call you up, or they might run into somebody that they send to you. So everybody is a potential customer, but you got to be genuine. You can't be cheesy or fake about it.
Yeah, well, a lot of the customers, when we talk, will be like, "Hey, how's our car doing?" And I tell people, "Hey, once we get a detail by me, we have a bond forever. That's like our baby, And yeah, a lot of my customers, that, I don't really promote, but my customers come from word of mouth and referrals, and I get calls that are like, "Oh, this person referred to me." I'm like, "Oh, wow," people. One of my guys that sold cars, I just got a customer last week. I did their interior. It was been a year since I've talked to him. Thank you, Ernesto, for sending me that customer. It's just Big D. He took me in for 2 days to help detail at his shop. I'm trying to detail in all 50 states, and a lot of people offered to take me into the shop, and so I could reach my goal. And I'm still trying to reach my goal. So I've done 11 states, and I still got 39 to go. But we're getting there. When I tell people a detail, I guarantee my work.
Right.
If it takes more time than what I was estimated, I don't charge them. And it's just, I tell people, I want you to feel that you got your money's worth. And that you gained more than I did, because everybody, no matter what you bought, whether it's food, a service, a part, so, everybody works out for the money. And a service, and then you're like, sweet, I didn't get my money's worth. And then you feel like, you got taken, and that's the worst feeling. So, up to this date, I haven't had a customer complain about me, and, and they've always told me, hey, I thank you, to share my videos. And for me. So that's, to me, that's the best feeling when I get to the vehicle, that we have a bond, a relationship, and
So the thing is that the nice part about it is, I mean, you're just as excited to work on that customer's, Honda Accord as you are to work on Final Judgment. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's their baby, no matter what it is. And I think people lose sight of that sometimes, that there's people that are in different lanes, and I've got a family car that, the grocery getter, that I also have my classics, and it's not like you have no idea what's in somebody's garage, And so they may be having you watch the minivan today, and then when they look at how nice that looks, the next thing you know, they're rolling in a 59 Jag and having you do that thing in ceramic coating. So I think it's just, again, it's back to that relationship and just treating people with respect and understanding wherever somebody is, that's where they're at. If they can't afford the 3-stage and the ceramic coating and that kind of level, but they can certainly come in and they want their car to look good, that's what I respect. I don't care what somebody's driving. It's about what they do with it and how they take care of it.
Don't let him fool you. I pulled up in my green Gremlin and he just laughed.
I love the Gremlin. I love the Gremlin.
I tell people I work with any budget. We can work something out. if you could do like a minivan that's super bad, a lot of people have told me, hey, this car's almost there, like what can you do? You could always do something to it, it doesn't matter, how new it is, a lot of people, take it through automatic spinners, to the car wash. So when they're washing their cars, they dry it with a body towel, So
Yeah.
it's just educating people. I do a lot of, car stores, that are big, but also you go to like parts,
Yeah.
And I sell, we make sort of fresh towels and stuff,
Yeah. So do you, with your customers, do you leave anything in the car with them when they go? Because I know a lot of people on the forums nowadays are going back and forth as whether or not you should leave like a microfiber towel or chocolate mints, or what? Do you leave anything for the client or?
Well, besides my business cards,
Yeah.
I give them some rags and
Okay.
and then I give them the option to buy the bead maker.
Okay.
And I just educate them. Okay, if you want your car to keep looking this way, this is how you should go about it. And then a lot of the customers are like, "Oh, I don't want to touch my car. I'll just have you do it." I'm okay. But other people, they'll take care of the cars.
And that's a good thing to do, is to give them that option to do that, or maybe I've heard before where people will offer like once every 2 months or 3 months or something, they'll offer like a day where you invite your clients to come in and see how to take care of the maintenance on their vehicles. And usually
I do that right away. I tell them how to maintain it right there and then. I even demonstrate it, and that's how I keep my customers.
Nice. That's awesome. So one thing, I want to go back to one thing that you said. You kept saying P&S Legend ceramic coating, right? We were actually there for the unveiling. So let's talk about your experience with Legend, because it's a brand new 60th anniversary release from P&S, and it is a thick coating. I mean, I was there with Keith Duplessis and Sydney doing the first unveil. And so what's been your experience with the Legend?
It's been great that's all I use now. I'm even thinking about not even using the Inspiration, the 3-year one, and just having the 5-year. And I bought in bulk, so I have like 20 Legend coatings. I did a video the other day, and I have it in my briefcase, and it's good. The installation is super easy. When I did that the 38 the other day, I on the top of the carburetor, it has the blood orange and then black on the bottom. I did the first coating, and somebody called me, so I forgot about it. It was like 15-20 minutes, and then I started back to doing the second coating on the firewall, and then I looked, and it was all like it looked like spots, and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to wipe it. So I reapplied it, heavy, and I wiped it off, and it came off. So that was after 20 minutes of leaving it sitting. Like, wow, I don't know another coating that's useful.
Well, that's and I we've had quite a few opportunities, really good opportunities to sit with Bob and Dave Phillips and actually talk to the Dave, the chemist behind all those products,
the mad genius.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of personal care and concern that he puts into it. He's very concerned with how it applies and how it cleans up and how it affects, takes away chemical like products and everything's like that. And he wants to know the properties of it and everything. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about them. And we have opportunities with tons of other companies and tons of other products that are out there. But in particular, meeting the people behind P&S and spending a lot of really intimate time with them, that's a great company. I mean, not just great products, which they have, but it's also a great company. And that's one of the reasons they're around for 60 years. So
it is. I worked at 3D, as a matter of fact, for about 3 months. And I helped out right here in Chula Vista. they were gonna hire me on full time, but at the time I was kind of going to the Navy. So I went to the job. I went back to school full time in and besides detailing, I've noticed that it's not just about detailing. You know, it's how to run your business. You know,
yeah.
I've been lucky that a lot of guys that they don't run detailing business, but they run successful businesses. And no matter what business you're in, whether it's restoring cars, my boy Danny at Los Titos, you know, running the Mexican restaurant, you're in the same business. It's customer service. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to provide a service. You know, and you know, just we go about it. You know, they have shirts where they have the lowriders on them, and you know we're doing that too for the final judgment event for the detailing. Just you know, it's good to have a perspective of business from other people, and I've gone to them, you know, and they've helped me out. And the last 2 years, I've talked to Chris and Rennie, and they've helped me out in the detailing aspect of the business. You know, now I had an idea of how to run my business, but now they're in the detailing business, so it's more depth, more detailed in how to do that. So right now I'm still mobile. I still have a door here at my friend's shop, but it's not my own yet. And when I finally have my own spot, you know, that you know I'll be ready. But for the most part, the world is my playground. You know, I could, you know, I have a couple details in North Carolina, you know, that we're doing in June or July for a car show. A couple cars in Taurus Empire in Texas. Just you know, a lot of guys are starting to notice my work, and they're willing to pay and wait, you know, months to get it detailed. Also, I met I forget his name 2 weeks ago, but he's building his lowrider was built, and he's seen what I do to Toretto's final judgment, and he wants the same thing. He's off of Arizona.
Okay.
You know, my cousin Ruben also, you know, he's from Rollers Only. He's the one who basically paid for all the trip for me to go detail his 65 Impala, his Beauty Rose. That's what he calls his car. But yeah, you know, I gave him a price, and my cousin, you know, said all right, you know, and he's been trying to get his other club members to get details. Also, when I went to the Arizona show, you know, we did a lot of contacts, and yeah, it was you know, a successful trip. And
well, and that's the way you build.
awesome.
That's the way you build a specific thing around it. Everybody can't do that. And I mean, I wasn't joking about that. Everybody can't do exactly what you do. But somebody, even if it's not even in a detailing business, somebody that has like a mobile ice cream vendor could take pieces of your business and they could apply it to theirs. And I think that's what's important is, you know, when you look on social media, and a lot of the questions are just general business questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? What do you use for this? There's obviously detailing questions. You know, what polish do you use for this? Oh my gosh, I got this early 2000 Chevy and the paint's so brittle that if I flick it, it cracks. You know, what do I use for a product? And those are important. Those are really important on that day. But the business aspect of how do you deal with employees, how do you deal with part-time, how do you pay your employees, and all that kind of stuff, we get to deal with just hundreds and hundreds of customers that do everything so differently. But there's this certain percentage of stuff that is the same across the board. Like you said, successful business people have the same things that they do. And I think that's important for anybody. You know, if you talk to Big D, you know, there's a reason that he's successful, and he opened up a second shop, and he's got employees, and then he has people coming in and, you know, doing all that stuff. The same with, you know, everybody that's doing other stuff. So there's a tons of things people can learn from it. I think that's what's important with connecting with other detailers. It's one of the reasons that I really am a big advocate of the IDA. It's one of the reasons that we are, founding club members and huge sponsors of the IDA, because that's an organization of people that come together that you can share your thoughts and your ideas. If you've never gone to an IDA meet and greet, you should go to one, or you should host one right there in San Diego, California, if you could. And then
that's what I want to do for the Detail Wars. Have actual signups for the detailers that want to sign up for the IDA. Also have the skills validated as well. That's one of the things that they help you out at the training with Rennie.
Yep.
I just I believe in the IDA, so that,
you should do that. And the other thing people don't realize, I think, is that taking advantage of some of the industry leaders. Rennie is not just a trainer; he's had many businesses. Keith Duplessis, I don't even know if I count how many detailing businesses that guy started.
Thank you for making it happen.
And some of these other folks that are out there, Bob Myers from Pro Car Care has been in the industry since I think like 1902, and some of these guys that are huge industry leaders that you get access to. Take advantage of that. Talk to these people about what they've done. So, we got about a couple of minutes. We'll wrap things up, and we want to make sure. Is there anything else you want to tell people? How they get a hold of you? Where to look for you?
On my Instagram, it's HTL Detailing. On Facebook, Hiram Lopez. I got 2 cell phones: 619-737-6976 or 619-869-1038. Just look out for the Detail Wars. That's my next thing that I want to offer detailers, customers, and just educate the public on just detailing. When I started, I started detailing, and people would be like, "Oh, you just wash cars," and it's like, no, all you do is wash cars, and I was like, man, and I would feel kind of embarrassed or guilty, like, no matter what you do, people are always gonna think that that's all you do. No matter where your skill was at, no matter how what you can do, that was people's mindset. Oh, you just watch cars, and I was embarrassed, and I was like, shoot, like, how do you go about this? How do you tackle this mentality or people just thinking about that about you? And one of my biggest supporter has been my mom, Bernice Rosales. She no matter what, she's always supported me, even when I would go not from the straight line. She always supported me, even now. She's funded some of my trips. It always helps me out, no matter what.
Well, that's great. I mean, that you got to have that support crew, and I think that's something that everybody deals with. The whole all you do is wash cars, and I think the big thing, and I watched it happen with my one of my daughters, and I had my kids go out, and I was showing them how to properly wash a car. This is the first bucket, this is the second bucket. These are the towels, don't let them touch the ground, all that kind of stuff. And I can see it happen in my one daughter because she washed a panel on her car and she saw where somebody had rubbed it with a towel and there were some scratch marks. And she said, okay, I washed it and I dried it off, but there's these scratch marks. How do we take that out? And you saw it happen. It went from just washing her car to, okay, it's clean, but I saw a spot. How do I take it out? And I showed her how to take out a spot. Hello, hi.
Hey, bonita, qué hermosa.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that my kids have always supported me. Whether it's right now, I tell them, hey, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna detail quick, but after, my time is all yours. And a lot of people, one of the biggest I think downfalls or problems that people have is time management.
Yes.
There's a time for everything. I have peace of mind because my kids support me. My family supports me. So when I go do a job, I know that if it's something important, they'll call me. But for the most part, they're not, how do you do this? Or, when are you going to be done and stuff, when I go to work is, I start to finish. So sometimes I don't even eat or drink or use the restroom. It's like I get there and I do what I got to do it. But I got to also remember, hey, I gotta eat. I gotta take a rest. I gotta drink. I gotta take care of myself as well. But when you have people supporting you, your job is so much easier.
I love that, man.
Absolutely, amen.
So I believe families first. I'm always preaching this to anybody. No matter what, my family comes first, and then my business. I can't run my business if I have to worry about my family, and I'm not good with my family. My family, I love them. And that's why right now I only work three times a week. Because even though my daughter's 19, my son is 16, my other son is 12, my daughter's 15. It's something to see your kids grow.
Absolutely.
Kid, I kind of didn't see that process where I saw a lot of them because I was always working. And I worked at the ships. I actually detailed ships, battleships, aircraft carriers. I was tank detailing. We sandblasted, painted the outside. At the dry dock, I detailed the whole dry dock. So I'm certified on the man lift, bobcat, forklift, all that. And now it's just I'd rather put my career on hold because my kids need more, and once I open up a shop, I know it's I have to be there, I have to, so my son helps me out. He's straight A student honors, but I tell him I don't want him to I don't want to affect his future by putting him into detailing because he could be more than that. If he loves detailing, it's fine, but I want him to find what he loves. This is what I love.
That makes a huge
and it makes a big difference to let them know that. So that is awesome, and I think that is probably one of the most valuable things is that when Jody and I are working, we're working. When we go on a trip, we usually work 12 to 15 hour days, and it's 100% work because we're gone. We know we're away from our family, and we constantly go back to the hotel and we're just work. And then when we get home, we're with our kids. I mean, nobody plays with their kids like Jody, man. Jody plays hard.
I love to play with my kids.
That's
man.
when it's time to be with the family. It's time to be with the family. And one of the smartest things that ever happened is years and years ago. When we first started this business, my wife told me, she's like, once you get home, your phone gets turned off. You're not working after you get home. And so I just follow that rule. I set my phone on a table and I'm done. I mean, it's people have to get used to the fact that when it's after hours, it's after hours. I don't work anymore. Yeah. So
I've gotten calls and texts at 10, 11, 12, and and in the morning I'm like, hey, sorry for the late response. I got held up. I'm like that too. It's you get spend an hour with your kids, or you can spend 15 minutes, but quality time. Quality and time is totally different. They could be around you and you can see them, but the time that you're playing with them, talking to them, every day I'm helping my kids out with homework. They still haven't gone back to school. So my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old, I help them out with their homework. Hey, it's time to go to class and stuff. So I've had to work around it. And, I'm lucky that I'm able to manage that because when I went to college, I was a student peer mentor. And I had 60 students, and every week, we had to meet up. I had a column, and every Friday, every Monday, I would call them, hey, have a great day, have a great weekend. Every Monday, hey, how was your weekend? I'm here. If you guys need anything, so I've done a lot, and I love helping people out, and that's why I'm here. So if anybody, ever needs anything and I can help you out, you got my numbers right here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You definitely can reach out. He'll answer you. So
yeah, no, we really appreciate you taking the time to tell your story. Obviously, we could probably go for another 45 minutes. I mean, we're just having such a good time. And, it's like, as I think about it, the impact of a dad at home really ripples across generations. and you're not only building a reputation as a phenomenal, nationally known low riding detailing specialist artist. Right? I'm going to say artist because a lot of people can detail, but you are truly an artist. But also to be able to dedicate your time to build a legacy of family that will last far longer than building your business. And so mad props to you, mad props to your moms, Bernice, and to your kids. And we just want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show.
Yep, and we got one more piece of business we need to take care of, and that's to give away a whole bunch of pads and some software. So giving away a box of pads.
All right, let's see what we got right in the middle here, baby.
If you're not in the drawing, you need to get in here for next time.
All right, the Detailing Pro, William Whitlock. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I will reach out to you.
We'll reach out to you, William Whitlock, and get you on there. If you're not in this bowl, you need to get in here by going to the YouTube channel and subscribing and using the hashtag Buff and Shine Manufacturing, hashtag Reflection Artist, and hashtag
of course,
RoadFS, and you will be in this for the next drawing. We have enough of these boxes to go through October, and Buff and Shine, Clint, and those guys are super, super awesome. And they said they'd give us more if we need more. So
yeah, really cool coming.
Next month's giveaway is going to be live at the Southern Detailers Conference.
So we're going to
get in this drawing,
and you're going to want to be in it because I'm telling you, the prize for Southern Detailers Conference is big.
Yeah,
it's huge.
We have multiple giveaways.
I want to keep it.
We have some serious big hitters giving us giveaways at Southern Detailers Conference. We will have boxes of pads. We will have mystery items that will be revealed later that are. We're not talking about small items. We're talking about really big ticket items. So get in this drawing, and we'll be pulling stuff out of here. We'll be taking names at the show as well. So come see us at the booth and get on the show like Hiram did, and we will see you guys.
Hey, you guys should, Anthony's a good guy to hit up.
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, you need to connect with me so we can get you on the show because I've been following you a little bit. And so, yes, we definitely need to tell your story. So if you're interested in being on the show, we want to highlight your story because, Rod and we've done over 100 episodes. I think we're like pushing 150 episodes of these. Right? They're on Spotify. They're on Apple Podcasts. They're on YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribing and sharing because I'm telling you, there is just a ton of information from phenomenal business owners, and you will learn something from every one of them. So make sure you check us out. Same time, same bat channel, just next week. See ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Peace.